Hope people are doing well in these times. I've got a pretty provocative question to ask you. Are you the leader your organization needs right now? In fact, what your organization demands of you? My name's Larry Rosborough. I'm with SSI Consulting Solutions. And at this time, we're trying to help organizations by providing some information, some background, some things that we think are important during the COVID-19 crisis. I want to start a quick discussion on leadership and why it's important now, and probably more important now than it has been in many of the time in the past during this whole COVID-19 crisis. We're heading into probably a more difficult time now than at the beginning of the crisis. When this crisis started, the issue was, are we going to shut down? Do we need to shut down? And there was some hard decisions to make, and hard decisions were made. And we got through that part of it. Not everybody was happy with the message, but we got through of it. The issue we have now is as we try to think about restarting our organizations or ramping up our organizations, we're going to have a bigger challenge as leaders to deal with. Public health in Canada and around the world has done an excellent job of explaining to people and really instilling a healthy amount of fear about COVID-19. And they needed to do that. We needed to get the message. We all needed to understand what was going on. That fear, though, we are now going to have to deal with in the workplace as the leadership. When people come back to work, we're going to see the range of emotions. We're going to have everything from, woohoo, great, I'm back to work, everything's fine, to extreme anxiety. I am scared that I'm going to get this disease and I'm going to bring it home to my family, and I don't want to do that. So the challenge we have as leaders is how do we step up and make sure that we are doing the right things and that we're making sure that people understand and feel comfortable with what needs to happen in the workplace. So regardless of your title, because the title doesn't make you a leader, your actions are what makes you a leader. Now is the time that you need to step up, and your actions over the next few weeks or months are going to define you as a leader and make a huge difference in your organization. So here's a couple of things for you to think about as we're going forward. First and foremost, you need to be present. Your people need to see you. They need to see that you're there, that you're trying to help work through this and you're going through the same thing. And they need to know that you're listening to them. This is not the time to be hiding in your cave, your office, and doing busy work that you think are the things that leaders need to be doing. Now is the time more than ever to be getting out in front of people and making sure that you're following up what's going on. You need to involve your folks. It's really critical right now that people feel involved in this. They're afraid, and there's a good reason to be afraid, but they want to be heard, and they do have good ideas on how to bring forward changes that may need to be made. So listen to them. No, it's not the time for endless committees, and it's not the time to listen to the guy with the biggest mouth in the background. Listen to everybody, get your information, and then move forward to it. That brings us to the third point. Make decisions. Don't waffle on things. Make a decision, go through with it, get it done. Is there going to be a few missteps? Yeah, unfortunately so. Information is changing daily in this, and we can't help that. There's nothing anybody can do about that part of it. But it's really important that if you understand that maybe you've done something that isn't exactly right, or there's something that has to be corrected, then correct it, let people know what you're doing, and get on with it. Don't dwell on it, just get on with it. And fourth, you need to communicate, and you need to communicate a lot. Some of us think that we're good communicators. Well, no matter what you thought of your communication skills, they need to be better now. And I don't mean posting up a few signs or printing out a few memos and giving out to your folks. You need to be out there and listening and talking to your people and talking to them every single day. Maybe it has to be virtual for some of you and some of your organizations and some of your setups, but we have the technology to do that. But be as interactive as possible. Let people talk. One of the big things right now is probably half of people's anxieties will go away if they can just talk about it and know that somebody's listening to them. Okay? I don't talk about politics with leadership. In fact, I rarely talk about politics at all, but you're usually not setting the greatest examples for us. But today I will draw your attention to what's been happening in Canada over the last 8 weeks. The Prime Minister, Canadian public health officials, most of our premiers with their public health officials have been side by side giving daily almost repeated, clear, concise messages. Did we always like the message? No, because there were some hard decisions that had to be made. But it was clear, it was concise, and it was repeated over and over to the point where it became the norm. That's what we need now. If you want to see an example of leadership that it doesn't work, just look south and look at the turmoil that's being created. Now more than ever, people need leaders who can and will step up and will involve them and listen to them. And that's your job today. You need to step up, follow these few simple steps, and be the leader that you can be and that you want to be, and make sure your people are comfortable with that. Thanks, and be safe.